Jesus, it's bright. Wow, those lights are very smudgy, jeez. Wow, those lights are still very annoying. Gosh, they look better on my iPad. I think that might be like the smudges on my camera. I know my phone has a lot of smudges on it. Jeez, there's still a light. God, what the hell? Oh, whatever, it looks better anyways over here. And I forgot to delete the other videos so I don't run out of storage. Jesus. Shoot, I forgot to oh my gosh, guys, you are already seeing through me, my normal looks, to my ADHD in the first 40 seconds of the video. I forgot to delete the videos in recently deleted. God. Oh gosh, finally, I get to set up my camera to make it look good for once. Hey, what is up guys? It is me, Tanner here, back with another video, and I have to restart it again. Hey, what is up guys? It is me, Tanner here, back with another video, and today, well, let's just say, if it looks like I recorded all those previous videos on the same day, it is true. I did. I ate a whole, probably like a fourth of a bag of chocolate-covered espresso beans, and I took Vyvanse for the first time in 9 days. So I have just been really hyper and focused, and I'm recording all these videos on the same day in the span of like an hour, which is absolutely crazy, and you know, I just love it. Talking your feelings out on Vyvanse is like the best thing ever. Actually, anything on Vyvanse is like the best thing ever. Vyvanse really, really, really dramatically just increases the amount of fun everything has. And I know I hear a lot of people saying that, you know, Vyvanse, that's not normal and that shouldn't happen if you have ADHD. Especially on like drug videos and stuff, because those videos are, God, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you guys are definitely seeing through my ADHD right now. No, you're seeing my ADHD right now. God, why can't I not talk? I can never talk when I'm on Vyvanse too. Like, I don't know, I guess it's like a mild psychosis. I've read up on psychosis before. I did a lot of research on Vyvanse because, you know, it just really interests you, especially if you're on Vyvanse at the time you're looking it up. But yeah, I did a lot of research, and yeah, that's why I'm making these videos, if you didn't already tell. Trying to get my life back together like I was talking about before. But let's get back on topic. So, ADHD and Vyvanse. A lot of people, I've read up on a lot of people who think that if you experience euphoria when you take Vyvanse or Adderall or Ritalin or any other ADHD medication, you probably don't have ADHD. And when I read those, I kind of believed it, because I tend to believe people when they say stuff a lot more than other people might. I don't know, I might be just a gullible person. But looking into it, I realized that, wait a second, I definitely do have ADHD. I have every single symptom there is. I'm impulsive, I have terrible handwriting, I can't focus a lot of the time in school, I'm a very hyper child, and I got a lot of hyper, especially when I was younger. I was very hyper. I would just jump around, and kids would be like, geez, Tanner, calm down. I didn't have very many friends growing up, and, you know, that's a little bit of the darker side. Yeah, but for a while, I was kind of skeptical if I had ADHD or not. I was rethinking my life a little bit. But I definitely do have ADHD. I got a diagnosis from a doctor, and you should trust your doctor most of the time, unless he seems a little bit sketchy, you know, like, especially if he's bald and has glasses. Kidding. My doctor is bald and has glasses. Yeah, never trust bald people. Yeah. Basically, I'm gonna stop being stupid here for a second, and I'm gonna get back on topic, because I love getting off topic. Basically, I was rethinking my ADHD, and what I came to the conclusion was, oh gosh, I came to the conclusion that I definitely have ADHD, and, well, and just because you have euphoria when you take your medicine doesn't mean you don't have ADHD. It's probably just me that thought that. There's probably a small minority of people that think that, but just for those minority of people, just for the chance that there is just one person that comes across this video and looks at it, I want to say that it's okay to have euphoria when you take your medicine. That does not mean you don't have ADHD. The reason that is that ADHD medications don't just release dopamine, the chemical that is responsible for basically having HD. Normal people have a certain amount of dopamine, a certain amount of receptors in their brains that release and absorb dopamine. But people with ADHD tend to have lower amounts of dopamine. Actually, they do have lower amounts of dopamine. They have lower amounts of dopamine receptors in particular. And these medicines release dopamine, and people think that if you get euphoria from it, that you don't have ADHD. And if you have ADHD, you probably won't get euphoria from these medicines. But that's not true, because it doesn't just release dopamine. It also releases norepinephrine and serotonin. And it also, it might release epinephrine or adrenaline too. I'm not sure though. But yeah, it also releases other chemicals in your brain that ADHD patients may not have deficits. God, they may not have deficits of those chemicals in there. It also releases norepinephrine and serotonin and possibly epinephrine. I'm not sure. I have done extensive research, but there's still some things I'm uncertain of. It does release norepinephrine and serotonin though, and that's for sure. Those chemicals are, ADHD patients may not have deficits of those chemicals, and those chemicals can provide a sense of euphoria. They increase your heart rate, they increase basically your metabolism, your breathing, and basically make you more alert and focused as well. Serotonin in particular may provide a sense of euphoria. Stuff like MDMA releases serotonin, and that is very euphoric. I'm not exactly sure that how much serotonin is released in these medicines, but yeah, these medicines release these chemicals, and that's the reason why it's that's the reason why, just if you think you don't have ADHD because you have euphoria when you take the medicines, it could just mean that you don't have a deficiency of serotonin, and the medicine releases a lot of serotonin in your brain. I'm not exactly sure how much serotonin is released from these medicines, but I know it could still have an effect on your happiness. Also, another thing is, you may be taking a higher dose than you should in the medicines, and basically releasing more dopamine than the normal person should have. That's another thing, and this is the harmful one, because having excess amounts of dopamine in the brain can trigger things like schizophrenia and psychosis, or amphetamine psychosis, as a lot of people call it. People who take methamphetamine, in particular, are generally the ones that thought of this. And when you think of like a meth addict who, you know, is kind of skeptical, and like you hear stories like people bringing meth to the doctor to test, like, because they're very paranoid about what it is. Psychosis can cause paranoia, and it can happen in people who have ADHD. It's similar to the symptoms of psychosis experienced when in patients with schizophrenia. It can cause you to actually have basically a complete opposite effect of what it's supposed to do. It can make you less focused, get off topic more, and move on to tasks quicker, which is basically what ADHD is trying to treat. So these medicines can be not effective as they'd usually be. But yeah, that's basically what I want to talk about in this video. I want to clear up any things like, you know, if I experience euphoria from my medicine, is that a bad thing? Well, it can be if you're taking higher doses, because another thing that I forgot to mention was, and I forget to mention a lot of stuff because, I'm guessing it's probably my ADHD. I don't know, I shouldn't be so skeptical and just thinking about this stuff, just like theorizing it and believing it to be true, but I'm pretty sure it's my ADHD that does that. Yeah, let's get back on topic. One other thing that, jeez, I'm shaking right now. One other thing that is bad, really bad, that could happen if you take high doses of amphetamines is dopaminergic neurotoxicity, where basically the dopamine invades the receptor like it normally does to release dopamine, but instead it destroys the receptor, making it inactive, which can cause even more ADHD. And this is especially bad for people who don't have ADHD and who take the medicines to help them stay focused, or because they're misdiagnosed, which is a really bad thing. Yeah, this can make ADHD worse and can cause a lot of bad stuff. So just stay educated and do your research before you take these medicines, because people with ADHD have a higher tendency to, overdose on these medicines, basically take higher doses than they're supposed to get high, and they should be informed, because I've done this myself, I will admit. One time I took 300 milligrams of Vyvanse. I took 6 pills. It was very, very euphoric. But it is dangerous because you could cause dopaminergic neurotoxicity, and that can lead to things like anhedonia. It can increase your anhedonia with ADHD, and even make you depressed. So be educated, and yeah, make sure to do your research before you take this medicine. Even if you think you definitely have ADHD and you definitely think you're taking the right dose, start with small doses. And also, don't be alarmed if you experience any euphoria. It is one of the positive things with these medicines, and it doesn't always happen. It could definitely happen, and it has happened to me, and it's made me skeptical. But just remember that your doctor prescribed this, and doctors are very informed. That's the reason they go to medical school for 8 years, and whatever crap they learn there, whatever insecurities you have with your paranoia, from your addictions, and if you have an Adderall addiction, it makes you kind of paranoid that, doctors shouldn't be prescribing this to kids. Well, these people go to medical school for 8 years, and I think they definitely know what they're talking about most of the time. Yeah, but I've seen comments, and that's the reason I want to make this video. I've seen comments of people talking about, how their kids shouldn't be prescribed this. I've seen it on videos of people taking it for the first time and talking super fast. And I'm talking fast right now because I've had Vyvanse and a lot of coffee. I just ate like 1/4 of a bag of espresso beans. I'm jittery. Caffeine and Vyvanse, very euphoric combination. Don't know how safe it is. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Don't try it at home unless you're a little bit risky. But you probably shouldn't work out on it or anything. It's probably pretty safe. Definitely increases your heart rate, I'll tell you that. My heart rate's like really fast right now, but yeah, don't do anything that could get you harmed. Don't overdose on your medicine. And yeah, don't be alarmed. Talk to your doctor, especially if you definitely think you don't have ADHD. Talk to your doctor about it and find out some more information. Yeah, that's just my advice on it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I did get a little off topic and stuff, but that's just because, that's who I am. And my medicine may provide a little bit of grandiosity, and I know that's one thing that's bad about it. It definitely makes you think things that you do are better than they actually are. Basically make you more narcissistic. But yeah, I don't care about that right now. I'm still gonna upload this video, depending on the severity, because I want to get this channel going. I want to stay motivated, and I want to do something that basically gives me a purpose. And that's definitely important, especially if you have ADHD. It's definitely good for your life, and definitely just do what makes you happy. because there's probably not going to be a lot of things that make you happy if you have ADHD. Doesn't it can be different based on who you are. It definitely is. Everyone is different. Everyone reacts to neurotransmitters in a different way. But anyways, we'll just save the rest for a future video. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.